6% to 8%, and in some cases, even higher than 8%. That's where many of the new issue longer maturity corporate and municipal bonds are currently coming to market at. Hello, members and super savers. I hope you're having a good week. So with the rates that I just shared with you, it's no wonder that some of the best yielding new issue corporate and municipal bonds that we've seen recently have sold out in as little as 2 hours. So with that little time available to get some of these attractive rates, and before we expand any further into corporates and munis, you need to know how to find out about these new issue corporates and munis as soon as they're available. And that's what we'll be covering in today's video. 1. How to turn on fixed income alerts with Fidelity, Schwab, and Vanguard. Basically, how to be the first to know when one of these 7 to 8% tax equivalent munis shows up on Fidelity, or when one of these 6% corporate bonds shows up on Schwab, or in Vanguard as well. As I just mentioned, if you're not amongst the first to know, some of the best new issues can disappear in a matter of hours. And secondly, the fees that Fidelity, Schwab, and Vanguard charge for corporate and municipal bonds, where applicable. Because unlike with treasuries, you may have to pay additional fees when you place secondary market orders for corporate or municipal bonds. And these fees can add up over time, especially if you intend to actively trade your bonds rather than hold them to maturity like we typically do. I've broken this video down by brokerage platform and included the timestamps in the video description below so that you can go directly to the relevant section or sections if you're with more than one broker. And as usual, here's our front of video disclaimer. For a detailed disclaimer, please refer to the end of this video. Let's dive in now, folks. To turn on bond alerts so that you're the first to know whenever a new issue corporate and or municipal bond is available, go to Profile from your dashboard. From this profile screen that appears, scroll down to Preferences. Click on Communication Preferences. And from the Communication Preferences page, scroll all the way down and select Alerts and Notifications. And here is the Alerts page that appears. Let's scroll all the way down again to Products and Offerings and click on Fixed Income New Issues and Secondary Products. And on the next page that appears, I'll check off these 3. I'm not interested in secondary offerings, so I'll leave that box unchecked. You should, of course, select what interests you. And then I'll click Set Up Selected Alerts. And on the screen that shows up, I'll click on View or Select States because I want to select multiple states to receive tax-exempt new issue offerings from when it comes to munis that I want to be alerted of. Here's the box that appears. I don't want to select all states because our inbox is full enough as it is. So I'll select New York, California, and a few others that interest us. Again, you should select what interests you. And once I've done this, I'll scroll down and hit Save. I'll make sure that this is the correct email that I want my alert sent to and check off this box. Then I'll click Complete Setup. And here's my confirmation that my alerts are now active. And whenever there's a new issue municipal or corporate bond offering, I'll receive an email like this one telling me that this bond is now available for purchase on Fidelity. At which point, we often drop everything we do to log into Fidelity to see how juicy or not juicy the deal is. So that was how to turn on bond alerts with Fidelity. Now, let's talk briefly about the fees that Fidelity charges for corporate and municipal bond orders. Here we are at Fidelity's commissions, margin rates, and fees page. If we scroll down to the bonds and CDs section, we can see that for new issue corporate and municipal bonds, Fidelity does not charge a separate transaction fee. And yes, this little one is here for a reason. If we scroll down a bit further, we see that Fidelity may receive compensation from issuers for participating in the new issue offering as a selling group member and or underwriter. This is what's known in the industry as a selling concession. For secondary market corporate and muni trades, unlike with treasuries, there is a charge of $1 per bond, meaning $1 for every $1,000 par value of bonds traded. And if we scroll down again, this section goes through the cost for secondary market bond trading in greater detail for those of you who who might be interested. Now, let's move on to Schwab for those of you who have accounts with both brokerage houses. To turn on bond alerts, let's first go to the dashboard. I'll click on Profile, and from the pull-down menu, select Alerts. And this is the screen that will appear. I'll select Bond Alerts, which will then bring me to this delivery option screen because I'm doing this for the first time. I'll hit Continue. And here's the page that shows up next. Here I'll enter my email address. And this part I'll leave blank because it applies to securities alerts only. And our focus today is bond alerts. And here I can turn off my alerts delivery temporarily from this date to this date. For example, if I'm ever vacationing on the beach and don't care if my state is issuing new municipal bonds. Once I'm done, I'll hit Submit. This bond alerts page appears next. Here I'll see the email address I just entered for notification purposes. If I need to change my email address, I can just click here. I'm good though, so now I'll just select what I want to be alerted on. For the purposes of this video, I'll select all taxable offerings, and then I'll scroll down. And under municipal bonds offerings, I'll select California and click Add. And then I'll scroll down to New York and click Add. And once I'm done, I'll hit Save. And this green box will appear saying that my subscriptions have been updated. This is what a new bond issue alert from Schwab looks like. And this new bond issue from JP Morgan, it's one of the bonds I mentioned earlier. Schwab stopped taking orders for it about 2.5 hours after I received that new issue bond alert. In any case, let's move now onto the fees that Schwab charges for corporate and municipal bond orders. Here we are at Schwab's trading fees and commissions page. If we look at this online trades column and scroll down, we can see that like Fidelity, Schwab does not charge a separate transaction fee, but there is a selling concession that's included in the offering price. As we mentioned in the Fidelity section, a selling concession is when Schwab receives compensation from issuers for participating in the new issue offering as a selling group member and or underwriter. For secondary market corporate and muni trades, Schwab charges $1 per bond, meaning $1 for every $1,000 par value of bonds traded, with a minimum of $10 and a maximum of $250. So that was Schwab bond alerts and fees. Now let's wrap up with Vanguard. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but unfortunately, Vanguard does not offer bond alerts like Fidelity and Schwab do. They only offer stock and ETF alerts. The friendly fixed income representative who I spoke to there said that the company had discussed this before, but in the end decided not to move forward with it. So if you're with Vanguard and interested in purchasing new issue corporate bonds, you'll need to log on regularly and search for new issues yourself. With regard to Vanguard's commission and fee schedule, if we scroll down, we can see that Vanguard does not charge a separate transaction fee for new issue corporate bonds. But again, as with Fidelity and Schwab, a selling concession may be included in the offering price. For secondary market corporate bond trades, Vanguard charges $1 per $1,000 face amount with a $250 maximum. Vanguard does not offer new issue municipal bonds, as you can see here. For secondary market municipal bond trades, the charge is the same as for corporates. All right, members and super savers, so hopefully this video will help you stay one step ahead of others who are not in the know when it comes to spotting the latest attractive new issue corporate and municipal bond offerings. If you're with Vanguard, you'll have to be a bit more proactive given that they don't offer bond alerts. Stay tuned for more bond tutorials on this channel. And as always, if you enjoyed this video and learned something new, I'd love to invite you to continue to support our channel through membership so that we can keep producing one-of-a-kind, objective, sponsorship-free videos for a super saving community. Come for a chat at our next live member Q&A on November 17th at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And check out our latest member videos. This corporate bond deep dive is coming tomorrow in the member zone. To learn more about Diamond NestEgg membership, check out this video here or visit our channel page or the join link in the video description below. See you again very soon with more brand new wealth building content for your financial journey.